my god, Alex.
What happened?
Alex.
Oh, where's he messaging you? Where's he bugging you?
Alright, you can share your screen again. I'm not doing the intro, I'm not doing any of that. We're just
Gotcha.
live. I'm so frustrated. Oh wait, I better go to Rockfin and hit go live before I forget. God, come on. Just work.
Screen sharing is temporarily disabled by... It's disabled.
Alright, hold on. Oh my god, I fucking hate Rockfin. I'm so frustrated right now. I'm sorry, you guys. Nothing's working. Ugh. All right, now share screen. Get my big head off of the screen, please.
All right. We are getting that the sound is clear. So that's good. Oh, boy. Are we good now? Like, we're good,
Yeah,
good?
yeah, yeah.
All
We're
right.
good. We're good. We're good.
All right. I'm going to read the disclaimer. Just Jack's disclaimer. To the religious, if you believe it's wrong to study the scripture outside of your religion or denomination, if you believe your religious leaders or church fathers are incapable of having inherited anti-scriptural traditions of men, if you've already made up your mind about scripture, including the scripture should be studied at all, then this stream is not for you. To others, if you are open-minded to others' opinions, if you haven't made up your mind about scripture, if you've been turned off to religion but believe there's truth in scripture that may have been changed or hidden by religion, if you live according to scripture and like to dig in and discover more, then the stream is for you. We are looking at scripture in the original language using concordances or dictionaries for root words as well as the context from a non-religion perspective. We will as well have life experience discussion. We are not here to argue with others about theology or doctrine by the traditions of men, including Catholicism, Christianity, Islam, or Judaism. We will be discussing the importance of origins and show how religions contradict the scriptures. There you go. All right. So we are in the very last chapter of Numbers, which is, go back here to chapter 1. So right here, Bamidbar is what they call it in Torah circles. Bamidbar, Numbers, it's all done. We're in chapter 36. And we can review, but I went through 3 chapters, and they basically are like a culmination of how they got to where they are. Like a 1 second. An overview of we went from this location to that location. And the chapter 34, which is the next chapter, talks about how the land is distributed when they get into the promised land. And then chapter 35, we looked at about the cities of refuge, where if there's an accidental murder, in order for their family not to hunt you down and kill you, you have a place to escape um until the one who gave you the city of refuge passes away. So that's what that was about. And now we're in chapter 36. And we can get into it whenever you're ready.
All right, just a second. Trying to
And I'll
reshare
open the parallel.
my stream links and stuff. My God, nothing irritates me more than technical issues that don't make any sense. All right. Marriage of female heirs, that's where we're at.
Yes, that is the heading.
Mm-hmm. Numbers 36.
Yeah.
All right. And the heads of the fathers of the clans of the children of Gilad, son of Machir, son of Menashe, of the clans of the sons of Joseph, came near and spoke before Moshe and before the leaders, the heads of the fathers of the children of Israel.
Very long verse.
Yes. And said, Jehovah commanded my master to give the land as an inheritance by lot to the children of Israel, and my master was commanded by Jehovah to give the inheritance of our brother Zelophehad to his daughters.
Zelophehad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that.
Now, if they are married to any of the sons of the other tribes of the children of Israel, then their inheritance shall be taken from the inheritance of our fathers, and shall be added to the inheritance of the tribe into which they marry, and taken from the lot of our inheritance.
Okay, so what they're talking about is you have these designated areas that are given to a specific tribe. So, like, let's say there's a woman in Dan, right, Dawn, who her father passed away. He had no son, so it got passed down to the daughter of Dawn, and she wants to marry someone from the tribe of Naphtali. And then they assume that the husband would inherit the Dawn land to Naphtali. Right? That's the statement being made here. All right.
All right. And if the yovel of the children of Israel takes place, then their inheritance shall be added to the inheritance of the tribe into which they marry, and their inheritance taken away from the inheritance of the tribe of our fathers.
Okay, so what they're talking about here is the Yovel is the actual word for Jubilee. I'm sure you've heard of Jubilee. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
people, even if they've never gone to church, have heard the word. Where the 50-year cycle, like all the lands get restored to the original owners, especially if there's like a debt work that's being made on the land or whatever. So, sorry. Um, yeah, so they're saying like the land that was designated for Don, is going to pass over to Naphtali if we don't, change things. Verse 5.
All right. And Moshe commanded the children of Israel according to the word of Jehovah, saying, What the tribe of the sons of Joseph speaks is right. This is the word which Jehovah has commanded for the daughters of Zelophehad, saying, Let them marry who is good in their eyes, but let them marry only within the clan of their father's tribe.
All right, so they have to marry a second cousin or whatever. They have to keep the inheritance in the land.
And the inheritance of the children of Israel is not to change hands from tribe to tribe, for every one of the children of Israel is to cling to the inheritance of the tribe of his fathers.
And if we had held to that back in the day, all of us would still have land. We wouldn't have to like try to buy land and pay taxes and blah 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 blah. That's besides the point. Anyway.
And every daughter possessing an inheritance in any tribe of the children of Israel is to be the wife of one of the clan of her father's tribe, so that the children of Israel possess each the inheritance of his fathers.
All right.
Thus, the inheritance is not to change hands from one tribe to another, but every tribe of the children of Israel is to cling to its own inheritance.
So, in other words, the land of Don will always be the land of Don, regardless of how many generations pass, that land is designated for the Danites.
As Jehovah commanded Moshe, so did the daughters of Zelophehad, for Mahlah, Tirzah, and Hoglah, and Milcah, and Noah, the daughters of Zelophehad, were married to the sons of their father's brothers.
So they're cousins.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they were married into the clans of the children of Manasseh and son of Joseph, and their inheritance remained in the tribe of their father's clan.
All right.
These are the commands and the right rulings which Jehovah commanded the children of Israel by the hand of Moshe in the desert plains of Moab by the Yarden of Jericho.
Yay, the end of this book. So when this happens, they're like just about to cross over into the land. They're just about to get their inheritance. So they want to get some things clarified. If you say that, okay, he has no sons, then the daughters get the inheritance, then what the the ownership goes to her husband, right? Because he's the caretaker of her. So then he would acquire those lands. So, you know, keep it in the family. And I have heard a lot of people complain about the cousin thing or the incest thing, like even going back to like Adam and Eve. If like there was only a small number of people on the earth in the beginning, like all the people would be disfigured and retarded and everything else like that. And I think no, I think over time the bloodline has become more and more corrupted to where, the close relationships like cousins cause deformities, but um I've never investigated those things anyway, by the way. If that does happen, like every time cousins are together, if it causes deformity or whatever. But there's a lot of speculation that they oh my gosh, I can't talk about this here because this is strictly about scripture. Let's just put it this way. There are certain families that do keep it in the family. Okay. And I'm
Yeah,
talking about very important families. Okay. So I just putting that out there.
yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna do quick shout outs again. Truth Faction, FE Nation, Joseph Osborne, TC Zamman. There's a lot of people this time. I'm glad we postponed. Stationary Pizza, Alex Xavier, Memorial Gardens, Rose 777, what's up? Cami, Zach. All right. Shabbat Shalom. Um, so yeah, like I said, it was a short one, so we needed some filler anyway. But we will be getting in the book of Deuteronomy soon, which is actually the book of Devarim, which is the words, right? So if you remember, excuse me, if you remember, I kept pointing out that they translate it as speak when it's specifically word, and
Mm-hmm.
that's because it's a word of order. This last one is the book of Devarim, which is the words, and the that also goes back to the Ten Commandments is actually 10 Devarim, the 10 words, right, of the covenant between Yah and his people. So shout out to Don't Follow Crumb. All right. And Gregory Mars. I'm watching these pop up as I was chatting, so
Yeah. Those are really
I'm
short one.
I'm assuming Don't Follow Crumb is Crumb.
Yeah, this is Crumb.
Okay. Good to see you, Crumb. All right. Well, that wraps up the book of Deuteronomy. Or sorry, the book of Numbers. Sorry. Uh
The Book of
which is
Numbers, and then next week, or will it be next week? Or no?
yeah, yeah, it can be.
Well, yeah, I guess it
But I
can
wanted
be.
to I wanted to show something really quick. So Numbers, even though it's in the wilderness, which is where is it? Mhm. Where's the number? There it is. Okay. So if you look at, come on, move line. There we go. If you look at in the wilderness, the root word of wilderness is order. Word. It's the same word.
The same word for
Wilder,
wilderness is order.
yeah. So if you look at this right here,
Interesting.
the mem in front, which is right here, whoops, the mem in front means from, and then you got devar, word, order. So from order is what wilderness is.
Huh.
So we just finished the book of from order, and then we're going to the book of the order or the words. So very interesting.
Hmm.
So yeah, next we will go into Deuteronomy or Devarim, and something to know about that is it's the last speech of Moshe before he passes away. He knows he's not crossing over because of the rebellion that he did to Yah at the bitter waters, and so he's like going through everything that they've been through, and you know remembering all these different commands, and giving the order to pass it down to Joshua, aka Yehoshua, aka Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, I'm mocking because it's not translated Jesus at all. But yeah, that's that's what we're going to next. All right. I guess we're good. Whenever you're ready.
All right, I guess that is it. Sorry about all the technical difficulties in the beginning there. But thank you for joining us for another episode of Anti-Religious Scripture Study. And we'll
Have a
see
restful
you.
day.
Yes, have a restful day. And we'll see you next week for the beginning of Deuteronomy, Book
Yeah,
5.
and the earth is still flat for sure.
And the earth is still flat. Yes.